Greetings fellow Demon Slayers, this is Taimanin here today with another video. Before getting started, I just want to say thanks to everyone who has joined the Discord. We broke 250 members yesterday, so that's really cool. Anyone interested in joining, the link will be located in the description. You should come hang out, talk about the game, and have a good time. Now, as far as today's topic, I'm going to just go ahead and show off a red Asagi build. I had a member of the server last night kind of like asking for help in regards to her. So we gave him help. I shared the build I use. I don't know how he likes it yet because he hasn't gotten back to me, but he said thank you and all, so I'm going to go ahead, share the build with you guys, show a little bit of gameplay. So first we'll look at the supporters. For PvE setting, which is what we're talking about, I do run the Yazora's supporter just for the sustain that she gives. Idealistically, when not leveling, instead of Wadarase, you could probably go ahead and put on someone like Renka here, just for the additional critical rate on her melee attacks, since Asagi does like to basic attack all day. But I will put Wadarase back on because we are leveling Asagi. And then we keep Homura for the always amazing 30% additional damage to everything, with the small detriment of taking 10% more. Looking at the skills, we are going to be using her Munika ability for the 3 set with Suppress. This would reduce enemy movement speed by 30% for 15 seconds. We are using her Taimanin art to buff her basic attacks by a total of 30% and increase her particle charge amount by 50%. And we will be running the Kojenka for the huge slow, the AoE slow that it gives to all enemies. And with the 2 set of red, it will increase the duration by 50%. Now the thing to note with this build, you want to try and save Munika for after you Kojenka, and then use the Munika. It will only hit like 1 or 2 enemies, it doesn't have a huge hitbox, but those enemies will literally be frozen in time. Like if you think back to Itachi from Naruto, it's pretty much a Sharingan time stop, which I will be showcasing in the video. As far as skills, you want to try to go for basic attacks, or the upgrade attacks for like just her basics here, and then the upgrade critical first. Moving on from there, cooldown isn't really too big of a deal since Kojenka has a naturally low cooldown. I would probably go for ultimate next, and then cooldown, and then use the rest for skill damage, and then leak into HP and defense. But definitely try to get basic attacks maxed first, as well as the critical rate. For the weapon, either Naraku or Yamikuimaru work. I am using Yamikuimaru because idealistically, when not leveling, you will be running it with Renka, which means you will be scoring a decent amount of criticals, and this weapon would just simply further debuff the enemies to allow her to deal more damage on hit. I am using Red Magatama as always. And for the side weapons, I am using an S level 5 magnetic sword. I do have a Naraku, but it's only S level 1, so for as of right now, the magnetic sword would surpass the Naraku as a side weapon. And will not use Naraku as a main because this Yamikuimaru, as you can see, is S level 3. In a perfect world, if you have everything at the same S level or everything at max S level, Naraku would serve you better in time attack, while Yamikuimaru would serve you better in other gameplay modes. They are rather low, but here are her stats. Alrighty, we're just going to go do a couple dailies with her, so you guys can see how the build works. Yeah, I'm going to times 5. Now, let me see if I can get an example for you guys. So you see, this guy is completely stopped after the Munika linked off with a Kojenka proc. So it's really useful, like especially when you're bossing, because you can basically like just stop their time. It's so strong. And while it may not seem like a lot of damage, just pelting the enemy with auto attacks, it really does add up. Okay, let's ult. Alrighty. As you can see, Yozora just does a good job of kind of filling the gap between Kojenkas. Or if you're having issues proccing it, in my case, because I suck. But yeah, that stun on her can be pretty beefy as long as the enemies are in range. I'm not even going to need to proc against this guy. Alright, so he's dead. But yeah, that's essentially how the build works. The time stop does work on the bosses, at least for dailies, which is mostly where I've been using this build. Like, in a perfect world, I do tend to stick with green for Asagi. I have already posted a green build for her, but I figured I'd share this red build just because I shared it last night for someone interested in doing so. And one of the Asagi mains said that the Munika stacked with the Kojenka was a good idea. So I just thought I'd share it today for anyone interested. Like, as you can see in the gameplay we just did, like it is basically a full time stop. So if you can get that off on a boss, if your Asagi, you know, doesn't burn the boss down like she did in this case, it's really useful. Like, especially against those annoying the ninja chicks, the like high ninja terrorists that toss the shurikens. It's so good against her because if you can stop her time, she can't do anything and you can beat on her for free. Pop her shield, stun her, and beat on her some more, and then you have Yozora to watch your back when it comes to sustain and being able to provide just more CC in the build. And as you can see, this Yozora hasn't even been like upgraded to 50 once and awoken yet, so her heal isn't even as strong as it can be. It's kind of just like a throw-together build, like I said. I am working on maxing her, though. And also, again, in an ideal world, I would highly suggest running Renka when your Asagi is like max level or when you don't feel like you need Watarase's experience buff anymore. Because Renka mixed with Homura, as shown in the She Who Shall Not Be Named build, can be very powerful and cover your damage and critical needs. And then Yozora would just cover your CC and sustain. And then the build overall with Kojenka and Munika is CC heavy, and Taimanin Art is just your main damage generator. So really simple build. I just wanted to get that out there to you guys. People do occasionally ask me for Asagi builds still. So I thought I'd share this one as I have started leveling her. Because you can see everyone but her is 70, so I want to get her there. I also want to test a build I saw in PvP. There's one guy with like a particular build for her in the top 100 that I seem to have trouble with. So I want to test it myself and then I'll reveal it to you guys. But it seems to be a pretty sick build. It does require having her PvP weapon. I'd say at least S level 3. So I am also working towards that. I think I need about 7,000 more. So yeah, when she hits 70, and I'm able to get that weapon. I have the supporters. I'm going to test that build in a PvP setting and probably reveal it as well, because it's bonkers how like much damage she puts out. But I want to use it before giving the build out, because for all I know, it may not do that well. And it may just be countering me in some way. So there will be a little bit more on the Asagi front coming. That's all I really wanted to get out to you guys. I'll end by saying we have a couple days left before the maintenance, so everyone may know this, but new players may not. This does end the 23rd, the Katajina event. If you're new and you weren't able to get her to S level 5, that's fine, but do try your best to get her as far as possible, because she is limited. And for people who don't know, because I also saw this in one of my comments on the previous vid, she will be in every odd numbered box. As you can see, box 5, 7, 9. So the trick here is to use this reset button, this little circle at the top. When you get the Katajina from a box or the rare gacha ticket, you just simply tap this button and it'll move you to the next box. You don't have to actually sit there and farm everything per box. You just need to get the Katajina or the rare ticket, the actual rare item in the box, and then you can move on. So for new players who don't know that, I figured I'd point it out again so you guys, you know, have an idea of how to like get through the event a little faster, because I have seen some people in the server saying they were literally farming the box, every box to 200, and I'm like, whoa, you don't have to do that. But do try your best to get as many copies of her as possible since her event is ending. And same thing goes for... Oh my god, please. Alright, thank you for the login. Same thing goes for the gachas here. If there's anything that you wanted and you have the gems to do so, pull on them, because Suzune won't be in the pool for a while if Hisui is any indication. We may not have another gacha for She Who Shall Not Be Named for a very long time with uprates like this if you're trying to get her weapons, and who knows when Shadow Unchained is coming back rather. Me personally, I'm skipping on these. I'm saving for the Yuki supporter and skin because she's pretty much just breaking me at this point. Like, she's so strong, I just kind of want to like make her stronger, even though I can't stand her living guts. So that's what I'll be using my gems for next, I think. Either way, if you found the video helpful, please like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. From there, you all have a great day. May you have good luck in your gachas and in the arena. Get hyped for Emily-chan, because she is coming, and get hyped for the Mari event, because that is coming. And you guys take care.